everyone. Thank you so much for supporting Loki the Raven. Here he is.
Say hello. Good boy.
So this is the first episode of Loki's diary. So we want to do this to kind of share what we do with Loki with all of you lovely followers. We've been blown away by all the support that you've shown us, and we want this to be a very interactive thing as well. So if you want to know anything about Loki, if you want us to point out anything that you see, then do write in the comments and we'll address that on the episode that's coming up in 2 weeks' time. So we're going to try and make these once a fortnight. As you can probably hear or probably see in the background, in England we are being hit by storms all the time at the moment, so we're doing this indoors. The hope is that we'll be able to do some outdoors as well, because as you probably know if you've been following our page for a while, Loki is a free roaming raven, and he's with his favourite handler now, Elliot, which you obviously know from Instagram and Facebook, and the dodo as well, so you've probably seen Elliot too. But Loki is a free roaming raven. So on the first episode, what we kind of want to talk about is something that gets mentioned a lot, which is the equipment that he wears. So there we go. Here, so this, as you can see here, this is called a jess. Yes, that's right, Loki. So this is a jess, and this goes through an anklet. So I'm going to show you what this looks like when it's not on Loki. So here is a braided anklet, which is exactly the same as what we put on Loki here. So if you have a look at Loki, you'll see that the anklet is on his leg. You can move those around. You can see they're not pinching on the leg at all. So it's completely loose fitting. We liken this to having a collar on a dog. These stay on Loki at all times, and I'll just show you how we put them on because he's a fidget. So what we do is we have a bobble at one end and we have 2 loops on the other. This literally just folds round. So the larger bobble goes through the first part. Yes, Gwah! It's hard enough without a raven in it. There we go. And then what we can do is, so that's the first stage. So we have a nice anklet there, and as you can see, that's not going to get any tighter, because what we do is we can then pull on this, and then that creates a really nice fit there. Now the reason we have this particular part of the anklet there, yes, Gwah, is because we put what's called a flying jess through it. Now have a look at this. This is called a muse jess. So we use these in falconry, but look, you can see one major difference between this and what Loki's wearing. This has got a hole in the bottom, all right, and Loki's ones don't. So the reason for that is because at this point, if you can imagine, Loki is a free flying raven, as we've said before. If he lands up in the trees, which he does, this may well get snagged on a branch. So this could get snagged on a branch and he would be in a lot of trouble. Birds can actually hang if a branch goes through there, so you wouldn't put this on a free flying bird. So what we do is, this is exactly the same as a nylon Dyneema jess, and we actually put this through. It goes through, because it's a permanent jess, so we keep this on him all the time, and that just threads through. Really, really simple design. There we go, and that is exactly the equipment that you can see on Loki, and that is it. These are not joined at the middle. So as you can see, it might look like he's tethered. Sometimes it might. I mean, when he's running around and you can see him outside, you might see these and think that, you know, we're kind of keeping strings on him maybe, or that he's tied up. He isn't. They are 2 separate straps. So 2 separate anklets, 2 separate flying jesses, and you can see as he's walking around, here we go, you can see that in no way is he tied up, or are they tied together. If you think about it from Loki's point of view, and our point of view as well, the last thing we would want is for Loki to have these tied together, because imagine him up in a tree and he's got his legs tied together. He's just going to end up stuck. So it's really important to know the difference between, even though it's standard falconry equipment, the difference between what a tethered bird would use and what is actually on Loki. And you can see, look, sometimes it's a bit confusing because they cross over and they might look tied together, but he's moving quite freely there. This is putting it in principle, exactly what you've seen.
Hello. Okay, so, because as we said, he's a bit of a fidget, Okay, we need to turn the scales on. It's really important that we weigh all our birds every single day because we know how much food they're getting and we can determine where they're going to fly. So we want him to hop on, good boy, while he cleans his beak, and we can take a reading. So today he's coming at 2 pounds 8.5. So that's good. Okay, and now we want to just call him back onto the glove. Good boy, he steps up, and then we take the Jessies and we just put them under the thumb. And that's where the phrase comes from all you gentlemen out there. Okay, so he's under the thumb and he's in control. So before before we can let him fly, again, this is like a dog lead, we can assess the situation to see if there's any dangers. So he's always under our control. Okay, it allows us to do health checks. We can look at his beak, we can clean him, okay, check his feet. And it always just allows us to put on our telemetry system. So because he is a captive bred bird, it's illegal to release birds into the wild, okay? So we need to always know where he is at all times, okay? So before we put him on, we have to put on the telemetry, okay? That's a simple radio transmitter. Yes, you know what time it is.
It's Gwah time.
Okay, so the telemetry is on, which is just a simple radio transmitter.
Yeah.
And it's incredibly light, okay? So now we pop the other Jessie back into control, so we're nice and safe, okay? And now we can let him go and free roam. So we'll go and let him have a go.
Come on.
One, two, three. Good boy. So, thank you guys for watching. If you've got any questions or you want to learn a bit more about Loki, put your questions in the comments and we'll do another video with him, your favourite glossy boy.
Wow.